Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I just want to thank everybody for giving me the space the last few weeks because I haven't been putting up videos because I really just needed a little bit of time to have a little bit of time off. I needed um, do some self-healing. I needed to do I just needed to get off from recording videos and constantly having to like put up content. It was starting to get a little bit too much. And I'm one of those people that I give too much. And I realized that I needed to give to myself for a little bit so that I could get fill my cup so that I could come back and put more videos out for you. And I'm almost there. I'm not totally there, and I have decided that I'm not going to worry about YouTube algorithms or anything like that. I'm just going to put videos out when I'm able. And if that means that it's not once a week, it might be twice a month or once a month. That's the way it's going to go. And I appreciate all of you who have supported my work and who look forward to new videos coming up. And I really wanted to do something special for the time that we're in right now. We're coming up to Halloween, which is the thinning of the veil, and I really felt that it was important to bring something positive and light-filled over to you. And so that's what I have done. I've decided to create something today for you. And I'm so grateful that you joined me today for this sacred exploration. It's going to be a journey that I've titled Piercing the Veil, the Crystals Speak. So, this talk is really a conversation between worlds, between the seen and the unseen, the tangible and the etheric, the self we know and the self that is waited to be remembered. We live in a time when the veil between dimensions grows thinner each day, not because the world is ending, but because consciousness is expanding. And as we raise our vibration, the spaces that once seemed separate, human and angelic, earthly and celestial, begin to merge into one luminous continuum. And now, as the wheel of the year turns and we approach the sacred threshold known as Samhain in Ireland, the veil between worlds grows especially thin. Many people experience this season through symbols of fear and darkness. Yet I have never truly resonated with that side of Halloween. To me, this time has always carried a quiet holiness, a deep sacred stillness when the boundaries soften and the unseen world draws close. Not to frighten us, but to remind us of the love that continues beyond form. I have often felt that our collective consciousness is saturated. Our media, our movies, and much of the internet filled with fear-based imagery, especially at this time of year. Yet we know that what we think about, we bring about, and our focus directs the energy we create in the world. So I felt called to offer something different, a message of light, peace, and remembrance to help transmute this season's energy into something higher. And through this talk, my intention is to honor the thinning of the veil, not with fear, but with illumination, to remind us that this is a time of connection, reverence, and divine communication. And this could not come at a more perfect moment. For as we pass through the gate of October 31st, we move towards a great manifestational portal, 1111. These coming days are an energetic preparation, a sacred window to release, clear, and realign, so that when the 1111 portal arrives, you can step forward with clarity, sovereignty, and power. The crystalline frequencies shared today are here to help you shed old vibrations and anchor in new light, so that your manifestations flow effortlessly from the heart of your true self. When I crystal gazed in preparation for this talk, the crystals began to speak, not in words, but in visions, symbols, and frequencies of light. Through the shimmer of water, the mirror of the soul, the messages took shape, rippling between dimensions, carrying light and remembrance from beyond the veil. In this work, I gaze with two different types of crystal seers. You will see that I use a couple of my Clear Lemurian crystal quartz, which are ancient keepers of wisdom that transmits messages through bands of pure light. Its clarity reveals truth, illumination, and it illuminates the path that leads us home to our divine essence. And I used a very special crystal, my blue Andara, which I call starlight. It's a being of interdimensional consciousness that exists across many planes at once. It holds monatomic etherium, a frequency of unity and ascension. The soft blue ray corresponds to the third chamber, the high third chamber of the heart, where divine compassion awakens into service, and the vibration that calls us into new earth community, where love expresses itself through collaboration and collective awakening. And together, I put these crystals with the flowing element of water in the river. These crystalline alloys form a trinity of light between color and flow, bridging heaven and earth, body and spirit, matter and soul. They showed me that we are each being invited to pierce the veil, not by force, but through remembrance. Remembrance of who we truly are. Remembrance of our divine essence. And remembrance of the living connection we share with the earth, the elements, and the angelic realms. The message that came through the crystals is both simple and profound. The new earth you seek is not somewhere you must travel to. It is a frequency you are remembering to hold. Today, I'll be sharing with you the crystalline visions that came forward, messages carried through angelic guardians, elemental fairies, and sacred animals. Together, they form a map, a series of energetic gateways, showing us how to release what no longer serves, reclaim our inner power, and return to the wholeness that has never truly left us. So take a deep breath with me. Take it all in and feel the energy of the earth beneath you, the light of spirit above you, and the presence of your own radiant heart in between. As we begin this journey, allow the boundaries of the mind to soften. Allow your intuition to listen, for the veil is thin, The light is strong, and the crystals are ready to speak. And through their light, we are ready to remember. So, now that our hearts are open and our energy is attuned, let's turn our attention to the messages that came through the crystals themselves. Each vision revealed a world, a mirror of consciousness, offered wisdom about transition, courage, empowerment, and divine remembrance. And what I'm about to share with you isn't just imagery, it's living symbolism, a conversation between the soul and the crystalline realms. As we move through these messages together, I invite you to notice that what resonates most deeply within you. Perhaps one world, one totem, one animal totem, or one fairy guide will speak directly to your current path that holds the crystal's work. They meet you exactly where you are. So let's begin to unpack the crystalline visions and listen to what each world has to teach us. And later, once we've explored the messages, I'll guide you into a meditation journey, a multi-dimensional experience designed to bring the teaching full circle. So you can personally travel through the portals, release what no longer serves, and anchor the light codes of remembrance within your heart. Well, let's get ready to unpack the image, and I'm going to put it up now. Okay, so this is the first image. I have two images here to go and unpack. So okay, so I'm just gonna kind of start with, I forgot to put one circle around one thing, but the rest has circles around it. Um, so in this image, there is a sword. See this sword coming down from the top that has a jagged edge on it and is pointed down to the crown of a Great Dane. So this blue crystal, which is the actual Andara, is the head of a Great Dane, which so happened that when I actually took this picture was about 2 weeks after my lovely Great Dane Odin passed away. And it was kind of, he showed up and it was kind of a nice thing because he was reminding me, hey, Mom, I'm still here. I'm coming in through the crystals now. So, there's the Great Dane, the head of the Great Dane, and there is the sword that's going down to the crown. And there is also what appears to be two guardians on each side of the sword. So there's one right here, and there's another one over here. And because of the fact that there's a sword here, I believe that these beings are Archangel Michael and Saint Germain as they work well as a team to help transmute and release. So Archangel Michael uses the sword and Saint Germain uses the violet flame. And they seem to be here today to help us cut through deep wounds that are appearing in the crown chakra and are ready to be released because it's hitting the crown of the Great Dane. There is a shadow figure at the bottom down here. There's a shadow figure, and it's attempting to hold up the crystal or working on holding the light, the pillar of light. So this crystal is kind of sideways, but it's like a pillar of light. And this shadow figure is attempting to hold that up, to hold it, to carry it. And then there are three dogs. Okay, we know that there's the Great Dane, and up here is a boxer type dog, and down here is a black lab. And each dog has waterfalls coming out of their mouth. If you look at the Great Dane, there's a waterfall. If you look at the lab, there's a waterfall. If you look at the boxer, there's a waterfall coming out. And so that's what I kind of saw in the image. And so let's just kind of go and we're going to start unpacking. what I think this image is saying. So, I think that this image is about transmutation through the devotion and sovereignty. Okay. The scene suggests a collective emotional purification with the waterfalls, held in the loyal guardianship of the three dogs, overseen by higher beings of light, Archangel Michael and Saint Germain. The imagery feels like a teaching about stepping into a new frequency of leadership through heart centered services and spiritual courage. So let's look at the sword. We're just going to look at the sword by itself. Um, you saw that the sword was jagged. It was a jagged sword descending towards the crown chakra of the Great Dane. This speaks of active divine intervention, the cutting away of outdated mental constructs or limiting beliefs, and blocked spiritual sovereignty. The jagged edge indicates the healing might be uneven or intense. This isn't a gentle trim, it's a decisive liberation. So let's explore how the process of awakening isn't always graceful, but is guided by the divine presence and compassion. The process of awakening, whether spiritual, emotional, or psychological, often begins with disruption rather than serenity. It can feel like breaking open rather than blooming. Yet beneath the apparent chaos, there's a deeper intelligence at work. Divine precision and compassion are the quiet architects of these upheavals. So I wanted to go a little bit further by giving you examples that kind of illustrate this paradox of awakening. So one example could be the collapse of the known self. So imagine someone whose identity has been built around success, control, and competence. And one day they lose their job, the very foundation of their sense of self worth. At first, it feels cruel, senseless, and humiliating, and the ego experiences it as failure. But over time, what seems like destruction reveals itself as a sacred surgery. Stripped of old definitions, this person begins to feel life differently, not as something to master, but to participate in. They discover humility, empathy, and authenticity. What felt like punishment was actually precision, an act of divine compassion, dismantling a false self so that truth could emerge. It's a grace in disguise. The universe didn't make a mistake, it's orchestrated an unraveling for the sake of wholeness. Okay? So that's one example. And then we have the second one, the dark night of the heart or the dark night of the soul. Consider someone who has always felt connected to the divine through prayer, meditation, or into intuition. And then suddenly that sense of connection vanishes. Silence replaces inspiration, and the person feels abandoned by God or spirit. This dark night is agonizing. It could be like writer's block or artist block or whatever as well. This dark night is agonizing, but it's not a rejection, it's an invitation. The divine presence is still there, but now hidden, asking the soul to love truth for its own sake rather than for comfort or reassurance. The silence becomes a crucible where faith matures from dependency into union. It's grace in disguise. The compassion here is fierce. It removes the sweetness of the surface relationship to reveal a deeper, wordless oneness. In essence, awakening often looks like loss, confusion, or even breakdown from the outside. Yet every unraveling is guided by an intelligence that knows exactly which illusions must fall away. Divine compassion isn't always gentle, but It's always precise, cutting only what is no longer serving you. That's happened to me so many times. So many times I can go back to when I broke my arm the first time and how it kind of I feel like it was spirit taking me out, you know? And the whole time that I was healing, it brought me back in. It took me in. It brought me into the essence of everything, and it was like this huge awakening. So when something like this happens to you, embrace it. Embrace it as much as you can. Okay, so now we're going to go down to the Great Dane, and the Great Dane is in the blue, and we're going to talk about its crown connection. So the Great Dane, with waterfalls flowing from his mouth, mirrors the throat crown alignment, expressing divine truth through a higher channel. Its message speaks for your new awareness, even if it feels unfamiliar. It's the embodiment of dignity, calm, power, and spiritual maturity. Traits of one stepping into leadership on the new earth timeline. So then let's look at the Archangel Michael and the Saint Germain. They're up here by the sword. There's the two dudes that are up in the corner. Together they form a spiritual task force for transmutation. Michael, he's got the sword of truth, discernment, protection, cutting cords to old patterns. And Saint Germain, with his violet flame, is all about purification, transformation of lower energy into wisdom and service. And then we have the three dogs. Okay. So, we did the Great Dane. The Great Dane is entering new spiritual territory with grace. The Black Lab is all about loyalty, guidance, divine compassion. The Boxer is about courage to express truth and playfulness in healing. And the waterfalls flowing from their mouth links emotion, speech, and release, perhaps signaling a group throat chakra opening among among the people that will be listening today and in the meditation, because we're going to be doing something like that with the meditation. So these dogs could symbolize the triad of expression: truth, the boxer; guidance, the lab; and sovereignty, the Dane. And then the shadow figure at the bottom, holding up the pillar of light. At the base, the shadow figure is lifting the crystal or supporting the light pillar, feels like it's integrated shadow self, the aspect of humanity or self, learning to serve the light rather than resist it. Rather than an imposing force, this shadow appears as a supporting force under transformation, showing how even our darkness contributes to ascension when given purpose. This image, the whole image together, seems to be telling you that it's all about embodied transmutation, accepting where you feel out of sync as a sign of integration into higher frequency, trust the guardianship of divine allies, seen and unseen, and using your voice, the waterfall, to release what has been suppressed, and honoring your shadow as part of your light work. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the next image. Okay, so the second image feels to me like three portals. I'm trying to get that to go up out of the, I don't know if that's going to go into the recording or not. There's a top thing that I have to get rid of. Okay. So when I first looked at this, I saw three portals or three worlds, and they were very distinct. And so what I saw up into this world was a walrus, and there was like a pixie fairy kind of over here, a couple pixie fairies, and a walrus. And then this one, I saw a rabbit. So there is a rabbit, a little black rabbit, and his ears are perked up. And then there's like a little pixie fairy in here. And then there's also a hole down here where it looks like the rabbit is going to jump into this deep hole kind of thing. And then over here is a dragon, a very strange looking dragon to tell you the truth. And there's like a little pixie fairy also that's kind of in there as well, kind of right down in here. And so we've got three worlds. So let's just unpack the three portals. So what I feel like this is saying, so the crystal vision represents choice points of creation, three parallel vibrational gateways, each one offering a different initiation path towards mastery. Each world contains both a pixie, a symbol of elemental guidance and playful co-creation, and an animal totem, symbol of embodied wisdom and grounding. The overall feeling is that you are being shown a trinity of evolutionary pathways: transformational walrus, courage, the rabbit, and empowerment, the dragon. So, World 1 or Portal 1, the walrus and the pixie. The theme is faith through transformation. The walrus surfaces from icy waters, an image of emerging from emotional depth or subconsciousness after a long gestation. His tusks break through the surface like antennas between worlds, and the accompanying pixie energy encourages lightness through transition. She brings curiosity and magic to what could otherwise feel heavy. Symbolically, this world invites you to reclaim trust in the unknown, embrace solitude as sacred incubation, and allow new beliefs to replace what melted away during your last transformational cycle. Then we go into the second world, the rabbit and the pixie. Is all about courage and vulnerability because the rabbit is getting ready to jump into this big deep hole. The rabbit, standing alert, gazes into the dark burrow, a mirror of subconscious fears that generate anxiety. The pixie here feels like a guide of illumination, helping you to see that fear itself is a portal, not a trap. The rabbit medicine teaches rapid manifestation, but only when fear has been transformed into trust. The deep hole under him symbolizes the shadow work doorway, the passage to reclaim your personal magic. Symbolically, this world invites you to observe anxiety as a signal, not a sentence. Leap into your fear with gentle awareness. Transmute survival instinct into creative potential. And the third one, the third portal, the dragon and the pixie, the theme is about divine will and energetic sovereignty. The dragon embodies the higher octave of fire, divine alchemy and willpower purified of ego. The silver light ritual that comes with the dragon power symbol is is being the mirror of truth and clarity, strengthening your pillar of light. The pixie in this portal acts as a bridge between your inner child and your divine self, helping you anchor playfulness while wielding immense power responsibly. Symbolically, this world invites you to reinstate energetic boundaries through light technology, to call your scattered energy back to the center, and live as a conscious creator, no longer feeling drama or depletion. Together, the three portals create a progression. The walrus is all about rebirth through faith, the rabbit is about courage through fear, and the dragon is about empowerment through alignment. They correspond loosely to the body, mind, and spirit, or emotional, mental, and spiritual realms, showing that your next phase of teaching or healing may guide others through these layers of transformation. So now I'm going to weave the two pictures together, and I'm going to take the pictures down here and I'm going to weave all of it together, the two of them together. So we have a unified vision, the sword and the portals, reclaiming divine sovereignty. These two crystal scryings form a single narrative of transformation, a passage from clearing and release, comes with the first image, into creation and empowerment, which is the second image. Together, they illustrate the alchemy of the soul's ascension, moving from emotional purification to sovereign manifestation. So we go into mixing it together, and part one is all about the descent of the sword, clearing the old. So I'm going to be doing a meditation where we're going to be doing what this basically, I'm going to be putting together a meditation that's going to help pierce through the veil. And so when I say part one, part two, part three, is there's three different sections in the meditation that I'm using from this crystal. So in the first vision of the image, the sword of Michael descends, pointing towards the crown of the Great Dane, an emblem of spiritual initiation. The jagged blade signifies that the cutting away of outdated frequencies may be raw and unrefined, yet it's divinely guided. Archangel Michael and Saint Germain stand as twin flames of truth and transmutation, using the violet flame to burn away attachments and the sword of light to sever cords that bind the higher self. Below them, the three dogs, the Great Dane, the Lab, and the Boxer, guard this initiation with loyalty and love. They represent the trinity of support. The Great Dane stepping into new awareness with grace and courage. The Black Lab is all about companionship and inner guidance. And the Boxer speaking one's truth and reclaiming joy. The waterfalls flowing from their mouth releases accumulated emotion, signaling renewal and emotional honesty. The shadow figure supporting the crystal becomes the integrated shadow self, learning to uphold the new pillar of light instead of resisting it. You cannot enter new worlds while still carrying the residue of the old. The angels come first to cleanse, cut, and transmute, prepare the field. So that's what's going to be happening in the first part of the meditation. And then the second part of the meditation is about choosing the new creation. So once the clearing has occurred, the soul stands before three crystal portals, each glowing with a distinct frequency. These are the gateways of choice, inviting consciousness, co-creation of the new earth reality. So each portal contains a pixie representing playful creative force and an animal totem embodied wisdom. Together they form a tri-keyed initiation. Portal 1, the walrus and the pixie. The theme is going to be around faith and transformation. This is the emotional rebirth doorway, emerging from still waters into trust. The walrus teaches you to embrace, change, and rediscover your faith after the sword's cutting. And then when you go and move into portal number 2, the rabbit and the pixie, the theme is all going to be around courage through vulnerability. The rabbit invites you to face the subconscious fears revealed by the earlier release work. By confronting anxiety and leaping into the unknown, you discover your power to manifest abundance from authenticity. And then when you move to the portal number 3, the dragon and the pixie, the theme is around divine will and empowerment. Here you claim your sovereignty. The dragon restores your life force, sealing your auric field with silver light so that your power is no longer drained by external demands. And so after the purification, you now stand as a creator, and you choose the world that reflects your highest frequency, and you remember your heart's light codes, the reality you stepped into. So the core of this transmission is through the sword, I am cleared. Through the flame, I am purified. Through the portals, I am reborn. And I choose my world with love, faith, and divine power. This combined vision forms a complete ascension map, from emotional release and angelical assistance to empowered creation through elemental gateways. It could easily serve as the foundation for the meditation, which we're going to be doing, that I'm going to be guiding you through. So we're going to go through an energetic clearing, we're going through emotional healing, and consciousness co-creation. So, before we journey into the meditation, I want to share with you the message that came through the crystals for today. A message about remembering, reclaiming, and rising. And through this time, when the veil is the thinnest, is when it's the best to do. When I crystal gazed in the preparation for this class, two visions appeared, each a part of the same story. The first vision showed me a realm of ice and angelic light, a frozen world pierced by a brilliant sword of crystalline fire. Archangel Michael stood as the guardian of this realm, holding this sword with as protection and an invitation. I felt the sword calling us to cut through illusion, to clear the old karmic cords that bind us to fear and separation. It was a vision of courage, of stepping out of the glass dome of limitation and into clarity. This was the piercing of the veil, the moment of awakening, where our soul begins to remember why it came to earth. The second vision deepened this teaching, and I saw 3 crystal spheres, each one held by a fairy guardian, each revealing a world, or what I now understand to be 3 portals of remembering. These portals represent stages of spiritual integration, ways our soul reclaims its wholeness after the veil has been pierced. I thought then, why not do an astral travel meditation to help you embody this information? And so that's what I did. And so I'm going to move over and I'm going to allow you to avail of the meditation. And I hope that it helps you very much. Before we begin the meditation, I invite you to hold this awareness. You are not traveling somewhere new. You are remembering what has always been here. You are not creating a new earth. You are aligning with frequency of the one that already exists within you. And you are not alone on this journey. You walk with angels, dragons, fairies, and the elemental kingdom as your companions for remembrance. Now I invite you to journey through the crystal realms, to pierce the veil and step through the 3 portals of remembering. This guided meditation will lead you through a sacred journey of release, empowerment, and reconnection with your soul's divine purpose. Within this journey, you'll enter a magical snow globe beneath the crescent moon, where fairies, a hummingbird, and elemental allies await to guide you through the 3 sacred portals: the rabbit, the dragon, and the penguin. Each realm holds a unique frequency to help you release fear and old karmic patterns, reclaim your power, and strengthen your pillar of light. Remember your belonging, purpose, and a divine connection to all that is. As you travel through the realms of violet flame, dragon fire, and crystal light, you'll be guided to pierce the veil of illusion, shifting your awareness to the new earth vibration that already exists within and around you. This meditation supports deep emotional healing, multidimensional remembrance, and the anchoring of higher frequencies into your everyday life. So when you're ready, allow yourself to settle in. Open your heart and remember, you are the magic you seek. If you are driving, I suggest do this meditation when you are free to roam in the astral realm. Piercing the Veil, the 3 Portals of Remembering, a guided meditation by Robin Nicole Elger. Before we bring forth new life, we pause for reflection, to come back into balance. Forward movement is impossible when unfinished energies linger behind us. Take a deep breath in through your heart, and exhale all the weights upon your mind. Again, inhale light into your heart, and exhale, release. One more time, breathing in peace, and exhaling everything that no longer serves. Allow your breath to slow naturally. You are safe, centered, and open. Imagine yourself sitting inside a vast, glowing snow globe. It is peaceful here. You sit beneath a great tree in a sunlit meadow. Soft flakes of crystalline light drift through the air. Each one carries whispers of possibility. Now look up. The crescent moon hangs like a silver fingertip in the sky. From it, thousands of tiny pixie fairies drop shimmering ribbons of pink, purple, yellow, and blue. Watch them spiral and float downward. Choose one ribbon of color, the one that calls to your soul. A hummingbird appears, iridescent and quick, catching your ribbon midair. She flutters around you joyfully, but as she brushes against the glass walls of the globe, small cracks of light begin to appear. The hummingbird invites you to pierce the veil with her, to break through illusion and rediscover the world of light that has always existed beside your own. You realize the new earth is not something to create. It already is. As your frequency rises, your perception shifts, and the world transforms with you. It's time to clear the space within your mind to perceive what is already here. A presence moves towards you, a stranger cloaked in mystery. The fairies whisper, "Do not fear. Do not fear, dear one." This being represents the parts of self and the mirrors of the world you once turned away from. Take a moment to stay open. Sometimes the reflections that unsettle us are the ones that hold our greatest expansion. Allow curiosity to guide you. The stranger invites you to dance, to move beyond sameness, and explore the beauty of difference. Life is a diamond, not a single facet. Through humility and grace, you begin to see more of your own brilliance reflected in the mirrors around you. Before you now shimmers a crystalline cave. Walls of Lemurian seed crystals and fairy quartz glowing softly. The fairy quartz sparkles like starlight, reconnecting you to the childlike wonder and the warmth of your heart. The Lemurian crystals hum with ancient memory, holding the codes of harmony, trust, and remembrance. Walk through the cave until one Lemurian crystal calls to you. Look around. Does one stick out to you now? Take a moment to reach out and place it in your hand. Hold it gently and trace your fingers along its striations. These ridges or striations hold your soul's Akashic story, a key to your healing. Three fairies appear before you, each holding a crystal sphere. They bow playfully and say, "It's time to journey through the portals of remembering." The first fairy sprinkles her sphere with golden dust, and inside a landscape unfolds. A rabbit stands before a deep, swirling hole. He twitches his ears and beckons you closer so you can face your fear. take his hand and leap. You glide down a luminous tunnel that opens into a stone circle around a sacred fire. From the flames rises a brilliant violet light. And Archangel Michael and Saint Germain appear beside you, radiating strength and compassion. Michael hands you his sword of truth. Use it now to cut away old cords, the ties of fear, doubt, and self-limitations. And as you do this, Saint Germain invites you to cast these fragments into the violet flame, transmuting them into pure light. Allow the fear, all the ties of fear, all the ties of doubt, and all the ties of self-limitation to burn up in that violet flame, transmuting it into pure light. Feel the golden energy of your solar plexus awakening your inner sun of power and purpose. Let its light expand through your body and auric field, clearing all residue of fear, doubt, and self-limitations. Breathe into this new freedom. You are powerful. You are worthy. And you are safe. The second fairy waves her wand, revealing a vast realm of swirling amethyst skies. A magnificent dragon soars overhead, radiant scales shimmering in violet and silver. This is your dragon guide. Notice their color. Feel their presence and ask for their name. The dragon begins to speak. Ho yanatataku natayaku hush natata ho nakaya natutuya hu pa yanatayana. When you give your power away, your light dims. I, your dragon, am here to help you reclaim it. And so it is. Together you learn the ritual of the silver cross. Draw a silver cross over your heart, top to bottom, left to right. And circle it with a silver circle. Then draw a great silver heart over your chest. Repeat the cross 3 times. 1, 2, 3, sealing it in light. Now visualize white light rising from your earth star chakra, moving through your body, up, 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 out through the crown, and forming a radiant bubble around you. Now draw a silver line of light from your soul star chakra down to seal this bubble. You are held in divine equilibrium. Your pillar of light is restored. The third fairy reveals a snowy world under northern lights. You see penguins gathered by a fire, laughing and singing, and beside them rests a gentle walrus who smiles as you approach. You are welcomed instantly, offered warmth, laughter, and a marshmallow on a stick. Here, in this Arctic circle of friendship, you remember you belong. You are loved, and you are needed. The walrus asks softly, "Do you feel alone in rooms full of people? Do you doubt your place?" You nod, and he replies, "You are here to bring change. You are part of the great weaving of light." The penguins begin to dance around you with sacred rattles, creating rhythmic waves of sound. They hand you a rattle, the spirit caller. Its songs reach through time and space, aligning you with your divine mission. Remember, power used in love uplifts all beings. Use your voice, your truth, and your tools with care. Let gratitude guide your creations. As the 3 portals fade, the fairies gather around you in a circle of iridescent light. The hummingbird returns, carrying the ribbon you chose earlier, now glowing with every color of your journey. She ties it gently around your wrist and whispers, "You have pierced the veil. You have remembered who you are. Feel your energy grounding into your Earth Star chakra, anchoring deep within the crystalline core of Gaia. Breathe in the feeling whole, renewed and aligned. Breathe out, releasing all that is complete. And when you are ready, wiggle your fingers and toes. Stretch your body and open your eyes. And bring this remembrance back into your world. Thank you so much today for watching, and I'll be back on another day with another teaching to help you deepen your connection and expand your light. In the meantime, you are very warmly invited to join my newsletter for updates, heart-centered guidance, and inspired messages from my book, Bringing Forward the New Golden Age of Miracles, which is now available in print and an ebook. You'll find the link below, and I'd love to stay connected with you. Sending you so much love and so much light. Until the next time.